Have you got your tickets to the largest music festival in Eastern Kentucky? The Alley Fest is returning Labor Day weekend. That's August 29th, 30th, and 31st. And this year it's bigger and better than ever before. On Friday, see Them Dirty Vandals, Zoe Howard, John Foster, Slater Nelly, and TikTok sensation Maddox Batson. Saturday features Brady Robinson, Troy Burchett, Jordan Smart, Wicked Peace, Jack Marion, Tyler Hood, Rachel Bayman, Luke Trimble, Abby Hamilton, Grayson Jenkins, American Idol winner Noah Thompson, and Nicholas Jamerson and the Morning Jays. And on Sunday, we have Brady McCown, Emma Hansman, John Thomas Moore, Moonlight Mile, Braden Mullins, Corduroy Brown, B. Taylor, our buddies the Kentucky Headhunters, Cole Chaney, and three-time Grammy Award winner Old Crow Medicine Show. Alley Fest has a new home at Archer Park in the Star City, Prestonsburg, Kentucky. This year, the Alley Fest offers on-site camping options, including primitive camping, car camping, and RV spots. All camping is walking distance to the showgrounds. Tickets and camping passes are going fast, so get yours today and don't miss this unbelievable lineup. For tickets, VIP passes, camping passes, and more information, visit www.alleyfestky.com. That's www.alleyfestky.com. Welcome back to the show. We hope you're enjoying our series. Today we have Russ Avison, Harold Shedd, Wade Smith, and special guest, legendary football coach, Barry Switzer, a three-time national champion, Super Bowl winner, country music fan, and longtime friend and business partner to the music legend Toby Keith. Let's get to it. This is Behind the Shed.
Well, Coach, I thank you for coming, and what an honor it is to have you here.
Well, Harold, I'm here every year. You've never said that to me before. Of course, we never filmed these damn things before, have we?
Usually eating, but
yeah, I always look forward to this.
We're so happy, especially with your relationship with Toby.
Yeah.
One of our favorite artists ever, and the best ever, and you can talk to us about that, and talk to us. Well, we'll talk about when we met first,
okay,
which was in 1980, 82 or 3.
Something like that. Yeah. It was. I think I was
Nashville.
I was up there to see you and Fred Foster and
some kind of coaches meeting.
I think I can't remember what it was. I went up so many times.
You were at the whole opera.
I met Fred Foster's secretary. I was single this time. Remember Bonnie?
Yes. I remember Bonnie.
I do too.
I remember. We met at Tavern on the Road.
That's right.
I remember that.
Wow. You had Lane Brody in there to do that video for one of the first videos with Johnny Lee doing the Yellow Rose of Texas. Lane Brody. And
yes.
And I thought she was an talented girl and a young girl from Minnesota, somewhere up there. And,
yeah.
And I went to dinner with you. You invited me to go to dinner with you.
We did.
I didn't know if you needed me to pick up things for you or something. I didn't know whether you were timid or shy or whatever, but I went to dinner with you and Lane Brody, and that was about 1982.
That's correct.
Yeah, and but I go way back with Toby. I was single from 41 to 61, Harold, and I used to drive I-35 a lot, and I would always pull into Chastain's on the I-35.
Yeah.
And Toby was a house band. I didn't know who in the hell the house band was, Toby and somebody in his group. But I never paid attention to the house band really much. You know, there were always the dance floors out there full, and they were playing country music. And I was having a drink with Freddie Cortez. So I sat there, who was manager of the club, and who I found out later was Toby's manager.
Yes.
And one day, Freddie called me, and Freddie's daughter's going to be here tonight. She's always here. Freddie married Heath. My favorite son-in-law, I always call him Heath Roots. Heath Roots was married to my daughter, and he's still my favorite son-in-law, even though she's married again. And he's my second favorite. Now he's gone to my third because I found out I got a daughter when I was single from 41 to 61. I found out I had a daughter, and I wasn't aware of it. And the girl that had it gave it away. She was a beautiful girl, and we had an affair for about 3 years, and she knew I wasn't ever going to get married again. She was about 22, and I was 50, and I wasn't going to date her and take her around Norman, but I took her a lot of other places outside the state, and finally, one year she called me and said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "God almighty, where you been all my life? You just stepped out of my life." And next thing I know is she's telling me a story. She said, "Put both hands on the wheel." I said, I think I better park. I pulled over, and she told me the story. The reason she didn't ever come back to see me again was that she was pregnant, knew I wasn't going to marry her, and that she was going to have the child, wasn't going to abort, and she knew a doctor that would handle it and give the daughter away to, which was a daughter, away to a nice Christian family, and they raised it. And when the mother that raised her passed away, the grandmother, I don't know for what reason she did, she told him that, "Oh, by the way, y'all were adopted." Well, he started looking for me, and that Ancestry.com bit me in the ass.
Wow.
Well, I'm damn glad it did, though.
What a great story.
But I'm glad it did. I really, she is wonderful. She's a wonderful girl, educated, school teacher, and married, got 3 kids. And I got to listen to her mom tell me this all on the side of the road. And I said, "My God," I said, I said, "You know, she's as much a part of me as my other 3 children, and her grandchildren are, her children are just as much part of me as my grandchildren, and they are my grandchildren." So I've got her into my life, brought her into my life.
Go.
And, so I'm really thrilled to death she's there. I talk to her nearly every day.
Wow.
And so, but anyway, 1980, in the 80s, Freddie Cortez says, "You know, my house band guy is, I really think, a talented guy. He writes his own stuff, and he plays." And I've said, I've heard him, but I never paid much attention to him. And he says, "Well, I've got an album. And I've got this album, and I want you and Lee Allen Smith, who is Mr. Oklahoma City, to be able to maybe get this to Nashville." I said, "Well, get the thing to me. I know Fred Foster, I know Harold Shedd, I know all these guys." And he said, "I'll do that." Well, I don't think he ever sent, I never got the record.
Yeah.
And I think it should have been a cowboy, and all those songs that were on that first record he made, all the number ones, and I just unbelievable. I might have quit coaching. I might have just been. I told TK Kimbrell, I said, I might have been Toby's manager. You've been on the sidelines, but anyway, I became good friends with Toby in the late '80s, and then I really became close to Toby once he made it big. And of course, they released "It Should Have Been a Cowboy" in '93, and I think during football season. And the next year, I was the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Well, they had him down there to sing "Should Have Been a Cowboy" on the field. Well, of course, you imagine what that did in the stadium. They brought the house down when he got out there and sang that. And I'm on the sidelines, and he comes over, and then he did the national anthem too. But we stood and talked a while, and I got started having a relationship with him then. And I would come back to Norman in the off season, and I'd get with Toby, and we started having a relationship and business relationship. And we formed a bank together. We did some real estate together. We did did a lot of things, but more than anything, we have developed a friendship and lasted a lifetime.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I know he had a lot of respect for you. I know that. And y'all probably were good business partners too.
Well, we started a bank about 17 years ago now. It was First Liberty Bank, Oklahoma City. We've got a bank now in Norman and a branch, and we opened a bank in Frisco, Texas. And we couldn't get First Liberty down there, but we got First Lone Star Bank. And it's down right across from Jerry's place. Jerry's the star there. And it's done extremely well. So the things we got into have done well. We bought, Toby and I and my son-in-law bought, Hunter Miller bought the Belmar Country Club and fixed it up. And I'm my age, I'm so much older than those guys. I just said, these damn cap calls eat my ass up. I think I'm going to sell my interest. Y'all get first choice with it. And I gave them obviously the first choice to purchase it. But I found a guy that wanted it badly. So I got back all my cap calls and made a little bit off of it. So
Cool.
Did you sell that $3 million Kia?
no, that $3 million Kia, yeah. That's how it cost me being in them 2 dealerships.
Oh, that was a great one.
Yeah, it's kind of like being like the racehorse business. You got to start out $50 million to make 19 million.
Yeah.
Someone said, dream of walking to Toby's farm has made $19 million. I said, I bet it took $50 million to get that $19 million.
Oh, wow.
But it's tough business.
Yeah.
But
Well, are you looking forward to seeing his horse run?
yeah, I am. Today, I don't know whether this is true or not. You see so much on social media that there's a question about whether he would run today because he's had a hoof bleeding or whatever. And I don't know whether that's true or not, but obviously he's going to run, so hopefully they wouldn't run him unless he was 100%. So,
Right.
yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. Wish he could win. In fact, I know the guy that had that 80-1 horse. He's from Edmond, Oklahoma. Had Rich Strike about 2 years ago. But remember, he got invited. He was about the third choice getting there, and they drove him up there and entered the damn race, Kentucky Derby, and they didn't even have a name for him. They just said it's the 80-1 shot coming out of the gate, and 80-1 shot come up on the inside rail and won the thing. And so it's yeah.
Is that the one you bet on?
No, it was Giacomo.
Oh, okay.
Giacomo.
Yeah, it was 72-1.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm sure some people made some money on that one. But
We hope you're enjoying the show. This episode is sponsored by PopChevy.com, Wild Bill Fireworks, and the Kent Rose Foundation.
Yeah.
anyway, Harold, I met you then. That was a long time ago, and it was we've had that relationship ever since.
It's been a wonderful relationship.
Yeah, I went down when you went into Bremen, Georgia, when you went in their Hall of Fame down in Bremen.
That's right.
I made my trip down to
You
Toby.
sure did.
Flew in with him to be there to celebrate your induction in their hall. You know, I don't know how large Bremen is. I've never heard of it before. I've never recruited there. I've recruited all over the United States. I've been to every high school and probably.
A lot of people never heard of Bremen.
But anyway, it's neat to have the relationship. And
Well,
see
I know
every
you're
year.
a big music fan too. I mean, you.
Oh yeah, I always loved country music. You know, I grew up in the era that the only thing you had was those AM radio stations. Every 50 miles, every town had its own station, and you listened to the Blackwood Brothers. And something during the day, you never heard any black
And
artists.
you also were friends with an artist that I signed up. Maybe you're from Crossett.
Well,
Arkansas.
KT Oslin.
KT, yeah.
KT Oslin's from
Yeah.
Crossett. Now, I talked to KT. I called her manager. When I found out she was from Crossett, I called her manager. I got a hold of some guy, and I said, get this word to KT and have her call me. And she sure did. And she called me, and I said, KT, I said, I read where you were or heard that you were born in Crossett, Arkansas. She says, I was, but let me tell you, her dad was called Shorty Oslin. And he played football at Crossett, and my dad and he were in the same class, a graduating class of 25 at Crossett High School. And the only reason she was born in Crossett is that Shorty was living in Houston, and they, when Mom was ready to domino, he took her back to Crossett where she could be born in Crossett Hospital, and they said that she was from Crossett, Arkansas.
Wow.
So Shorty made that happen, and but KT and I became good friends, and we'd call and talk to each other. And of course, 80s Lady, she came out with that, and it was a big record, and I think album of the year. In fact,
Yeah.
87, wasn't it?
It was Song of the Year, Single Record of the Year, Album of the Year.
Yep.
She was Female Vocalist
yeah,
of the
you
Year
know, of all,
and won a Grammy.
I've always said that that obviously to me the best of all was the one that did Crazy and Kate, but KT Oslin I've always said was second best.
Oh, Patsy Cline.
Patsy Cline. Patsy's the best, and I always said that KT was the second best, really
for
country
her era,
voice.
she was.
Her voice and all, just pure country, like Patsy's was. But
And she wrote some fabulous songs.
yeah.
She wrote all of those songs.
Yeah, that 80s ladies, yeah.
Man.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll always come back.
Always great songs. Always come back.
Younger man.
Got to the edge of town and turned around, and he got up and had the same story to tell too, didn't he? Yeah. But that was. But Toby was a great guy, a great person, and just he was unique in so many ways. He really was. His humor, she just was a kind of a stud. I talked to when I was coaching the Cowboys. I came back for spring practice, and in summertime we practiced different times in pro football. And I came back for the spring game and held Toby. They're playing it over at Norman High School because they're remodeling the stadium field and at OU and they were having a spring game, and Toby wanted to play in the game. He dressed out, and I told Toby, I said, don't go out there. That's dumb as hell. Go out there and you get your ass hurt, Toby. And I said, you ain't played since you were in high school. I tried to talk from doing it. He goes out there, the first play, breaks his ankle. They stop the game. They carry him off in a cart, and he had a concert that night in Tulsa. To be in Tulsa, hey, he had to cancel that thing. He had some next cut 2 or 3.
I never heard that story.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
it's a true story.
Wow.
Yeah, he had broke his damn ankle.
Wow.
Playing the damn alumni game.
Wow. That sounds like him.
No, that is. Yeah, Toby wanted to get out there and be a macho man.
Yeah.
Well, artistic people make bad decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But Toby always told me, he says, we went to a lot of bowl games together in Oklahoma, and I was out of coaching in '88, and of course coaching the Cowboys right after that. But we went to a lot of the bowl games together, Toby and I. I remember going to Sugar Bowl together, and dinner. I sat with Toby at dinner, and he told me, he says, the only way, he says, it's changed so much in Nashville. He says, the only way you really make money, I think Tree and Combine were the only writing studios, weren't they? And
well, they were the big boys.
Yeah. And he says, you gotta write your own songs, you gotta sing your own songs, really make it big and make any money today. And that's what he convinced me of. And my son's in Nashville, and
is he in music?
Great, yeah, he's in music. He's a writer, and he's got a guy, Michael Wayne Morgan or something like that.
William Michael Morgan.
William Michael Morgan is singing some of his songs. I was driving down the road one day in my pickup, and all of a sudden his song comes on there that he wrote. William Michael Morgan singing. But
good for him. It's harder than it's ever been to get a song cut. Good for him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He liked this stuff and listened to it.
But there's nothing greater or more invigorating than to hear your stuff on the radio, though. Just the fact that...
how'd you get Music Mill? How'd you do all that? Because you just had wanted to record artists and...
well, I had a lot of help, and I had a investor partner, and about 20 people like Russ.
Right.
You can't do it by yourself.
Hell no, nothing does.
And
good.
So, and I work hard. And, spent a lot of time.
Of course, you had Alabama.
You
had Toby Keith. Of course, you had Shania Twain. You had Oak Ridge Boys. You start naming them. So,
and how I got all of that is another story. That's the good man was looking out for me.
Still is.
And still is.
How old are you? 93 now?
93.
93. Let's
be
keep
94
on going.
in November.
I'll be 88 in October.
What's your birthday?
Still young.
Fifth.
I'm 8th.
You're 8th?
October 8th.
October 8th.
You'll
How
be
old will you?
88?
How old will you be?
69.
69.
I'll be 70. I'm 69 now, yeah.
You'll be 88 when?
October.
October.
Man, God, I want to look as good as you guys. I don't think I'm going to make it. Oh, my God.
Well, first of all, it's better to turn gray than turn loose.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Did you meet any other artists along your coaching years?
Well, yeah, I did, and being from Oklahoma, hell yeah, you got to have,
Yeah, a lot of artists come from Oklahoma.
Well, you bet there are, and but Hank. I was talking about Hank Thompson a while ago. Hank Thompson, when I was coaching the Cowboys, Ann and Hank, his wife, would come by my house after ball games. We played in Dallas. Come over and they'd pick and sing. Freddie Powers played for Merle Haggard and for Willie, and he'd come over. Charlie Pride would come over because his sister lived 2 houses down from me in a gated community there in Beltline and MacArthur in Dallas, right just north of the Valley Ranch, and so we'd have a picking and singing. Larry McFadden would be there. So all these guys, and Hank could tell his stories. This is when Jakey Sandifer was alive, and Jakey is a great guy. Yeah, if you wouldn't have a conversation with Jakey unless you could talk football and country music. And those are the only 2 subjects he's going to talk about. You're going to sit down with him.
Yeah,
but
I miss Jakey too.
Yeah,
I know.
He was the.
You played together, right?
Well, he played at Oklahoma. I played at Arkansas, but we were the same age. We were the same class. We were freshmen in '55.
You were both at OU.
No, OU didn't recruit me.
Was he a receiver? Or?
He was a running back. He's from Breckenridge, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in Breckenridge, and he's buried back in Breckenridge.
He did love his music, though.
Oh, my God.
Well, he got into music.
Well, he had a couple of girls enticed him.
Yeah, he had Mickey Newberry. Right?
Oh, yeah. We'd go to Palm Springs with Mickey and play golf. Yeah. Mickey was a hell of a talent, and he wrote some great writers. Yeah, I've got a lot of his stuff, his music, big pamphlet. Mickey gave me.
Yeah, Mickey was a unique guy. Yeah, and I know he wrote for Jakey for a while.
Yeah, he did The Ghetto for Elvis.
Yeah,
he did that. He did what was that other big one? He did for Mac Davis. Happiness is Lubbock, Texas, in my rearview mirror.
And did he write? I just dropped in to see what condition.
Yeah, my conditions in. Mickey did that, and
and the American Trilogy.
American Trilogy. That's a big one.
He was one of the best ever. Oh.
Yeah, Mickey was a neat guy. He's a good golfer too, from Houston, Texas.
I never met him. I wish I had.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Andy Williams' song, he wrote it.
I know what you're thinking of.
I'm not sure which one that is.
Yeah.
Man, you know it.
I love Mickey Newberry.
See, I'm the oldest, so I get a pass. I don't have to remember.
You don't have to remember at your age. You get a pass on that, huh? Well,
Man,
that's every day I think with Toby. There's nothing that when you live in Norman, and he lived in Norman, and every day there's something in mind.
I guess Toby was one of the most unique artists I ever met. In addition to his artistry and his musical abilities, he was a pretty good businessman.
Yeah, he was, and he did that. Every morning I'd be with him a lot of time in the morning, and he'd take that damn what the hell you call it, fill out that damn crossword puzzle. He'd get that syndicated crossword puzzle on the newspaper, and he'd fill that sandwich out, throw it up there in about 10 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, he was pretty talented, smart. He fool you. Toby was really well read.
He was smart.
He was smart, and his mother, we call her Granny. I don't even know her name. I couldn't tell you today. I know his sister, but Granny they're from Bentonville, Paris, Arkansas. right outside Fort Smith, right on east of Fort Smith, at Paris or somewhere like that. And she ran a club there in Fort Smith, and I used to go that club, and she ran that club, and we've talked about that. And Toby used to be, but she would take Toby there, and he'd be back in the kitchen because he was a little kid, 4 or 5 years of age, and he would come out and listen to the band. You know, that's where his interest in music started. But that was a long, long time ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah. They're Boonville, I think. Boonville, where they're from.
I'm glad that I intercepted his tape before you did.
Oh, I promise you would have had it. The first person I would have taken it to was you. I wouldn't. Fred Foster was doing them whole records.
I love Fred.
45s. Fred Foster and invited me to come. We had a good friendship. Bonnie Maxwell was her name.
Yes.
The secretary. Well, anyway, he invited me to come to his induction into the Hall of Fame. He went in with Lyle Lovett. He went in with Chris Christopherson. Him, and I can't think of the third, but I think it's probably a lady. I can't remember who it was. But I was there for that night when he won the Music Hall of Fame in Nashville. And I remember Lyle Lovett playing at the Oklahoma County Fair, and he had his RV out on the grounds. Had no place to stay but the RV. I went out. I was already a fan of his, so I went out there and knocked on his door, and he let me in. We sat and shot the bull for a long time, and he was a unique guy. I don't know why he categorizes music. I really don't.
I don't either.
I really don't. But he was talented and
He's
had a
still
unique
doing
sound.
it too, man.
Yeah, he's still doing it, and he's a good artist. But there's so many of them. I got to know Hank real well, Hank Thompson, because he's an Oklahoma boy.
Yeah.
Oklahoma Hills. That way down yonder in the Indian Nation, rode my pony on reservation, Oklahoma Hills, where I was born.
That's it.
Yeah. And his biggest song? He's on his way to, that's when there was no Nashville really then. Everybody went to RCA out in LA, and they recorded their records in January and February, did their songs. And you had your road guy out in front of you about 2 or 3 days, putting on telephone poles. Oh, Hank Thompson's going to be in town and playing at the Elk Club or whatever, some lodge. And he's in Flagstaff, Arizona. And the dam, it didn't burn down. Elk Club burned down, but they were going to play at a nightclub there. And the house band said, yeah, we'll let Hank Thompson play. And Hank Thompson happened to go out there early, just by coincidence, go in this club and listen to the house band. And the house band was playing this song, and the guy finished up with this song. And Hank said, would you play that again? And he played it again. And he says, let me ask you, can I change 1 or 2 little things in that song? And the guy said, well, sure. Well, he says, why do you want to do that? And he says, because I'm going to record your song. I'm going to put it on my album. He said, I'd love that. And of course, I guess Hank got half the rights on that. But anyway, it was, hey, bartender, one more round and a 6-pack to go.
Oh, wow.
How about that? His biggest song, biggest song he had. And that happened in Flagstaff, Arizona, because it's some house band.
I got
playing
time for one more round
and a 6-pack to go.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that was about 60 maybe?
Oh yeah, Hank he used to play in Norman, Oklahoma. He'd go down and play in the amphitheater there, and I'd go see him when he's in town, listen to him, hear him perform. Yeah,
Leon Russell put that out on his Hank Wilson's Back album in the 70s.
Right.
It was the only hit off the album, and I think it won a Grammy. Even then, that's how many times that song is just 6-pack to go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sleep at the Wheel did it with George Strait.
Yeah, that's right.
Ray Benson, Sleep at the Wheel.
Ray Benson.
Yeah,
he was always on our cruise. I love Ray Benson. 6'7" Jew from Brooklyn singing country music, country swing,
Western swing,
and Western swing. I loved it.
He's like Kinky Friedman.
Yeah.
Cowboy.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's way cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
what other artists have you met? And
well, I was in 1973. I'd named head coach of Oklahoma. I hadn't coached a game yet. I was making $24,000 a year, Harold. And that 3-year contract for $24,000 a year, and these bastards today making 8, 9, 10, 12 million. They talk about reparations. Old football coaches get reparations. I was at remember it used to be the International Hotel, and the Hiltons bought it, and it came to Las Vegas Hilton's, the first big hotel off the Strip, and we were sitting in a booth, Darrell Royal, Frank Broyles, and myself, and we were out there for a coaching clinic, and Elvis was performing. Elvis had that contract with the International for a month to get paid $1 million, and everybody's like, "Oh, $1 million for a month singing at the International," and but they carried it over on the Hilton side too, and so he was performing at the Hilton, and we saw the show, and as soon as the show was over, the guy comes by that was heading up the clinic, and he didn't know who I was. He just knew I was a new coach at Oklahoma, and he comes by and he says, "Darrell Royal says Elvis wants to meet y'all back there." He said, "How about I only take 2 of you?" Well, guess what? 2 went. I know Elvis would rather talk to me than Frank Broyles. And I promise you, Frank Broyles didn't give one crap about country music. And but I would have really enjoyed going back and meet Elvis and talk about. Of course, late at night, we'd all go out and park around our service station and turn our radios on. We had Etta James and Fats Domino and Randy's Record Shop in Gallatin, Tennessee. We'd listen to that late at night and hear all those great black artists, Etta James, all those artists. And that was special back then. Fats Domino. Yeah, it was a neat time, and that was just the beginning of rock and roll, and in the 50s, 53, 54, like that in that era.
Yeah, rock.
The Devil's music.
Yeah.
They came on strong.
We were in Southern Baptist. My dad was a bootlegger, so we didn't buy it with us. But I was in Southern Arkansas. It was all Baptist, Southern Baptist community, and they didn't want us singing that Devil's music and listening to it.
Isn't that funny?
But
it came on strong in the 50s.
Oh yeah, it blew it up. They couldn't keep it up. They couldn't keep it from it.
No.
No, there's no way.
Not with Elvis.
No.
Even though they wouldn't show him.
No, from waist down.
Waist up. Yeah.
I remember Ed Sullivan's first night. He was on Ed Sullivan's show, so I saw that. Yeah.
Who's your favorite country singer? Other than
Toby. Toby. Yeah. I liked them all. I'd listen to Merle Haggard.
Merle, any good?
Merle was great.
Yeah.
And my favorite Merle song was "Today I Started Loving You Again." I think that was a great Merle Haggard song. I liked all his music. And I tell you what, I like Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash.
Yeah, I love Johnny Cash, and of course, the greatest the writer of all time, in my opinion, was.
Did you like George Jones?
I liked him. He was unique, and different, but I liked him. I didn't listen to him as much as I did those other guys.
Yeah.
But I heard all his songs. But
for our era, Merle was hard to beat.
Yeah, and see, I listened to Louisiana Hayride too, and Randall Opry on the battery radio back in the 40s and 50s, and Southern Arkansas, we'd listen to that battery radio. It didn't have any utilities. We didn't have.
Who were you going to say writer you like? You're going to say your favorite?
I was Chris Christopherson. He's the greatest lyricist of all time.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
Yeah, man.
me and Bobby McGee. Fred Foster told me this story. he says he was hunting for somebody someday. He called and they answered the phone and he asked for so and so, and they says, ain't nobody here but me and Bobby McGee. So he wrote that hook down and he gave it to Chris and said, do something with this. Well, every so often, a couple weeks,
right?
He says, "Do it. Have you done anything with that hook I gave you?" Of course, Chris was doing some other things, and then he wanted to do it. Well, one day he sat down and did something with it. Me and Bobby McGee.
What about that?
Yeah,
Wow.
something. Yeah, so Fred got his wish. He got his finally write that song. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's amazing how many great songs he wrote that nobody ever hears about.
Yeah.
But if he put his album, I know one unheard song that he wrote was a song called Darby's Castle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just one of the best songs. It
Yeah.
took so many years to build it in one night to bring it down.
Bring it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you guys probably got some questions for the coach. I'm hogging the time.
No, that's good. I'm just sitting here loving hearing him
He
talk.
just turns me on, let me roll.
Yeah, no, that's good. No,
Put a nickel in me.
you had mentioned Toby playing the thing when you first took over the Cowboys. And it's funny, it reminded me of a great story early on. Toby, they were running the ads for the Monday Night Football, whatever week it was, and Toby was behind the line in the commercial and singing "Should Have Been a Cowboy." If you remember that, I'll never forget. I saw it on TV and I was going, "Oh my God, he's getting ready," because it just started to break a little bit. And he called me and that week, and I said, "Man, I saw the commercial this week." He said, "How do you like me now?" I swear to God, he said that to me. He would say that all the time when stuff started going on, you know.
Like me
But I never forgot that commercial. When you said that, I thought of that immediately. That was the
How you
first
like
time
me
I
now?
went, "Oh my God," because they had him behind the line like in the commercial singing "Should Have Been a Cowboy" on the Monday night ads they were running.
Yeah, it's how you get a hook. You know, he got the hook on Should Have Been a Cowboy. He was in Dodge City, or he's in Kansas. I don't know what, Dodge City, Kansas.
I think it was Dodge.
Dodge City, and he's playing in front of the house band there. And then when they got through, and they all sat down around the table, and his guys dressed in blue jeans and baseball caps turned backwards and all. And good-looking gal walks in this dance hall. He's got her hat on. He got a belt buckle, starched blue jeans, and big boots and all. And she comes in, sits down on a stool, and good-looking gal. And one of the guys at the table says, "Why don't you go ask her to dance?" He gets up and goes over and asks her to dance. She turns around and looks him up and down and says, "No, thank you," and turns back around. And about that time, a cowboy walks in with a hat on, big belt buckle, walks over and taps her on the shoulder. She gets up and they two-step away. And the old boy turned around, pointed at him, and said, "Should have been a cowboy." Toby wrote that down and said he wrote it in 20 minutes that night. And sitting on, and he always said this. He was sitting on the edge of he's sitting on the edge of the bathtub. And I always, he told me he wrote it in 20 minutes. And that, campfire songs and Marshall Dillon and all. And he wrote all that in 20 minutes. And then all of a sudden, I've always wanted to ask him this question, but one night, and I got around, I had a few pops, and I said, "Toby, I want to ask you a question. Why in the hell did you sit on the edge of a damn bat?" Because there are all 5 or 6 of them in their damn room, they didn't have any money. And then he said, "Well," he says, "why don't you sit on the stool?" And he says, "Because it didn't have a lid on it." I said, "Well, that makes sense that you can sit on it." I'll buy that.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. That's fun.
Let's see the Kentucky Derby, guys. I think they're trying to tell us the Kentucky Derby is getting ready to start.
This has been so great, man. Thanks. This is cool.
Appreciate
Well,
your
good.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah, you bet. Harold,
And
love
your
you.
friendship
Love you.
for all
Yeah,
of
you bet.
Love
That
you
was great.
too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, you bet you, sir.
Yes, sirree.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Behind the Shed. Special thanks to our guests today, Russ Savetson, Harold Shedd, Wade Smith, and Coach Barry Switzer. Today's podcast was filmed at Curly's Cabin on the Cimarron River in Oklahoma. Behind the Shed podcast was created by Wade Smith, produced by Russ Savetson and Wade Smith. Music written and composed by Russ Savetson. You can contact the show via email at behindtheshed@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at Behind the Shed. Special thanks to our newest Patreon supporter, Mr. Ron Ledette. If you would like to support the show in any way, please visit our Patreon page at Behind the Shed. For sponsorship opportunities, contact us at behindtheshed@gmail.com. We hope you're enjoying the show. This episode was sponsored by PopChevy.com, Wild Bill Fireworks, the Kent Rose Foundation, and the Harold Shed Music Gallery.com. Tune in next week as we go behind the shed.